Hey, how you doing, people? Number 5 today, the 5th one for YouTube. Just a new sweatshirt now, start lashing out to all you newbies. It's not my merch, Ain't to that point yet of having merch for you people. Number 5 of the series. This one's going to be all about the top 5 cars I would consider you can buy for 5,000 to 15,000, and we'll go from there. Okie dokie, first off, I'm going to jump straight in and go for Renault Zoe. Some nice vibrant colours on them things, they all look good, they're pretty decent little car, looks nice, does the job. Okay, you macho guys, you might think, oh, it's too ladylike. It ain't, it's just a nice little EV which can do the job very well. Comes in 22 kilowatt form, the early ones I'm talking now. This is below this price structure and I'm trying to work to for you as a guide. 22 kilowatt battery pack, which will give you something in the region of 80 to 90 mile if you're very, very lucky in the summer, depending on how you drive it and your driving styles. Got a good battery management system around it, far better than others. For the money. I believe it comes with an 8-year warranty on the battery pack alone, but be careful, because if you buy one of these early ones, obviously they've been out since I think 14, don't quote me there, you've got to be careful because the battery warranty will be coming up. But yeah, good little car. What can I say about it really? The winter range ain't great. It will drop to around 65, but you can actually go and develop into the better one if you've got your budget to do so. Now the problem is with these things, a lot of them will come on a lease deal. Renault loves these horrible lease deals. I think it's a waste of time. If you're going to do it, buy the car. Do not go on lease deal. Lease deal is, I think it's either 49, I think it might be £59 now, and that's per month. And that's limited to say 5,000 miles a month, and then you can go up from there to a 69. I think the top one's £79 or £89. I'm not going to thrash figures on the lease because I just don't agree with the lease. I think it's an awful thing, because by the time you've factored in your savings of owning an EV on the electric side and the zero road tax, you're losing it on paying it for a lease. Okay, it gives you battery warranty off Renault. Wow, I don't know any that's gone real wrong. So that battery warranty to me, and a bit of breakdown cover, I believe, if you break down, it ain't worth the money you pay on the lease. Buy outright. The problem is with buying outright, you won't get one for around 5k, which with the lease you can get as cheap as 5k now. In fact, I've seen them this time last year, pre-COVID. I seen one at like £4,300. Yes, high miles, but yes, still on a lease. But don't go there, don't buy the lease. Buy one outright with battery owned. Quite easy to do. You'll see them advertised with battery owned, so go that route, trust me. Unless you're really bothered about the battery, giving up on you, which I think is, you're overthinking it, to be fair. So yeah, that's the little Renault Zoe. You can actually buy what they class as the 40 kilowatt Zoe, probably in that price range. I'd say definitely pre-15 now. They've come down tremendously in price over the last 2 years since the latest one came out last year, and you should be able to buy one of those definitely on battery lease, far cheaper than 15. But I've seen them around 10.5, 11, but on battery lease. But off battery lease, yeah, I would say that there is one or two showing now off battery lease. You own the thing, you own everything with good miles under the 15k banner. They're better. Range on those, kind of, I wouldn't say doubles, but it's a lot better. I'd say more like 160 mile in the summer of range, and then dropping down to about 120 in the winter. So the range figures I'm going to give here are all going to be some, because that's the best side of it. So that's the Renault Zoe. And like I say, available in some nice colour, the blue one. I've always fancied the blue one. Nearly did buy one not long ago. Nearly did look at them. Facelift is a lot better now, but we're not going to go there. That's something else I'll talk about on the channel a lot later, of the new one. I might even go out there and review one. Again, people, sorry about the weather. I can't control it. This is why I'm doing them indoors. I should be out there reviewing a bit better than I am. So that's the Renault Zoe. Next one, Nissan Leaf. One of my favourites, to be fair. It was one of the first EVs I had. The Nissan Leaf, even in 24 kilowatt form, is a great, reliable vehicle. And if you buy the Techno version, which is the top range one, over the Ascenta and the Vizier, the Vizier is the real bottom range, and most of them were on lease. But just lately you'll find that most, if not, I would say 90% of all Nissan Leafs for sale now will not have a battery lease. They will be, owned battery cars. 24 kilowatt is great for grocery getting the kids to school, small commutes. The one I had in the summer, I would say that you would be getting about 80 to 85 mile on the charge, driving it like a Vicar. If you're going to drive it the way I normally drive, which is not like a Vicar, you will drop it down to about 70, even in the summer. They don't like motorways. Most EVs don't, the older ones anyway, the first generations, which we're talking about today. They don't like motorways stuck at 75, 80. You will suck up that battery like no tomorrow, and you will struggle to get 65. If you're doing 70, 75, I know it's illegal after 70, but if you're doing 70, 75 and following the traffic, in a Leaf, in a 24 kilowatt Leaf, don't expect to get any more than about 65 to 70 off a single charge, because you ain't going to do it. I knew that because I went to Sheffield Meadowhall from where I'm at now, and I struggled, kids. 30 kilowatt option is better. 30 kilowatt gives you that 100 mile in the summer. Some people have been telling me they're getting 115 in the summer out of the 30 kilowatt. I can kind of believe that if you take your time. Like I say, drive it conservatively. Again, I'll spell it out. Go for the Techno if your budget can allow. You should be able to get a good Techno, even the 24 kilowatt, definitely for around 7.5. Don't pay any more than about 8.5 for the pre 30 kilowatt model. In other words, about what, 14, 15 plate. You might have to, if you want a real low mileage one, you might have to pay around the 10 margin, even for a 24 kilowatt, if you want a real nice, low miler, because they still did put them in the vehicle, even up to 16, 17 plates. But I would say jump for the 30 kilowatt, jump for the Techno. It's got all the stuff in it. It comes with all the toys, all the full leather, heated seats back and front, heated steering wheel, nice little sat nav on it. And if you jump for, and if your budget can go, and you jump for the 17 plate, which you can still easily get under this budget of 15, 30 kilowatt, you get a real nice clean one for, I would say, 12, 13, 14k. And yeah, well worth looking at, because they'll come with low mileage, and the warranty is 8 mile on the battery pack, 8 year on the battery pack, or 100,000 mile. So if you're going to buy one at 17 plate, 16.8, you've still got a 4-year warranty, 3 to 4 year warranty. So very, very good in that respect. And I do know Nissan will do that for you. They will charge your battery, will change your battery pack if it fails under the 8 bar. There's one actually for sale now as we speak on eBay, I believe, or is it Auto Trader? Guy wants around 10 for it. Brand new battery fitted by Nissan with a receipt, back to full 30 kilowatt. So yeah, well worth looking at. Don't normally go wrong. Okay, I've heard people front brake pads will still be going strong in the originals at 50, 60,000 mile. Regen's okay, not heavy regen, but it's good enough. You can drive it in eco mode or whatever. But yeah, plenty to look at on the Nissan Leaf. Very easy drive, smooth, full EV, made as an EV, not like some others that have been made off the back of being a fossil fuel stroke ICE car. So yeah, give the Nissan Leaf some thought. Go and have a test drive in one. Don't do it on a heavy rainy day. because you hear under all that rain underneath the car. They are so quiet. You don't get much wind noise out of them either. Solid, well-built car. Plenty of space in there for 5 people. Good boot space. Ideal family little EV. And there's a second car if you want the 24 kilowatt Magic. But just don't buy the pre-2013. Don't buy the 11 to 13 Japan made model. They weren't great. The build quality weren't as good as the Sunderland ones. Well done, lads, in the UK for building a good EV up in Sunderland. Why, man? But yeah, don't buy the 2011 pre-13. Buy the late 13 on. Moving on, Kia Soul. Kia have, along with Hyundai, same group, have developed a great EV range, well respected, good range on per charge. Even the early ones that I'm going to speak about now, because they're in with the price we're talking about, between the under the 15k. The new ones, blimey, cheapest second hand now, facelift Soul or any of the Hyundai EV range is still around 28.5 grand. They are holding the money very, very well, and they are expensive cars for used at 2 years. Yes, I agree, but great range, good cars. But the early one we're talking about today is the Kia Soul, first one that came out. Made it up to, I think it was around 2019, but we'd be talking around the 2015. You might get a 16 plate, 2014 definitely. My favourite colour is the blue, which I put the picture on this to show you. It does look good in blue. They do a grey one, which is a bit more conservative for the people who don't want in-your-face colours. But the blue one's my favourite. Kia Soul, again, I believe it's a 100,000 mile warranty, 7 year. But again, be careful if you're buying one, because if you're buying a 14 now, it's 2021 now, your warranty ain't going to be down the battery pack. But again, I say this, it's very rare for a Kia stroke Hyundai to go wrong on the battery pack. And the estimated range of these WLTP ranges, which I'm not quoting because they are absolute nonsense, I'm going to quote you real world mileage. And I would say, I mean, most people I know who have had these Kias with the 30 kilowatt battery pack, which comes as standard, I think it's 30.5 or something. They're telling me, and I've read in forums, that you will get 100, maybe 120 miles out of a single charge, which is great for an early EV when you consider what was out on the market at the same time. Mega reliable. Again, I've got nothing regarding the battery packs failing or giving any problems, so that's great. So don't worry too much about the 7 year warranty. If you're buying a 15 plate, you've still got a year left of 15, 21, 20. But don't worry about it too much, because you ain't gonna need it. So I think you'll be safe with them. They come loaded up. The problem is with them, if you're going to be really picky as an EV, they are based on the fossil fuel chassis, same interior virtually, same switches, same everything. They were not a ground up EV. They were purely based on the earlier Soul, which was totally a dyno fuel car. But again, it is there. It is a full EV. It's not a hybrid or anything, these early ones. And so, yeah, I would say if you want that extra space and that funky look, nothing wrong with the Soul at all. I didn't get one because my wife ain't too happy about the shape, because they're a bit square and boxy. She's a bit Postman Pat looking, and I can see where she's coming from. So yeah, that's the Soul EV. Don't be put off by going again, having a test drive in one. Interiors are a bit plasticky, but build quality is okay. And the later you go on in those things, like the new Hyundais and, like I say, the new Kias, the build quality is even better. Like all cars, all manufacturers have got to get better, else they don't sell cars. So yeah, don't be put off by the Soul. Next one I'm going to mention is a bit oddball, and then a lot of people won't even look at it as a vehicle, purely because of its size, and that's the Smart, Smart for 2, which is the EQ EV. Again, picked on by the media because of the range and the price that they were when they hit. Nowadays, you can get a first gen EQEV Smart for 2 for, I've seen them as cheap as 7k. So at 7k, if you want a small funky car to do a bit of a commute, and you ain't bothered how you look in it, and only 2 people and a very small boot, then yeah, don't knock the Smart. But if you want to go any further than about 55-60 mile on a single charge, even in the summer, don't buy a Smart. Just don't. The battery packs were very tiny. I can't remember. I think I've now. They did a Mark II version. They did a facelift version in around. Don't quote me. I think it was. When did it come out? I've seen them on the 15 plates. I'm sure I have, and that's where they just made the lights a bit rounder at the front. Got rid of the older shaped Smart backlights as well, and the interiors got boosted. And I must admit, they did a sterling job on the interior, because the interiors on them early ones are a bit basic. And again, they look no different to the ICE version of the Smart. Whereas once they developed them and facelifted them, they were a bit better. The brand new ones that are out now have even got a real nice interior. I mean, nothing like the original Smart car from back of the day, but we are talking pre-15k here, so you will be able to get one. You'll even get the facelift one for the money I'm talking. I've seen them at, like I say, 10.5, 11, 12 grand, but it all depends what you want out of your EV. Don't expect to get a great deal of shopping in them. Great to park, brilliant city car, and if you live in a city and you don't travel out much, then yeah, great, or even great as a second car. But there are better EVs than the Smart for the money you will pay. So just be wary of that one. They do a convertible version, which you've obviously seen about. Black canvas roof top, not a hard top. Look okay, great in the summer, I guess, for a run around. But again, personally, I've had a Smart car. I had the old ICE version of it many years ago in left-hand drive form. Made some money on that, sold it to a guy in Belgium. We drove it back to Belgium. But anyway, I digress. So that's the Smart EV. Okay, finally, I'm going to come straight on to the BMW i3. I might be a bit one-sided on this because I own one and run one, but I did a lot of homework before I bought this, and I contemplated what I could get for my money out of an EV. And again, we're going to talk a tiny bit about range anxiety, but I won't dwell on that too long, because I know if you're a real EV purist and you're quite willing to buy an EV, even at top-end money, and only get 100 miles out of it per charge, then great for you. And it does suit a lot of people. Not everyone, but it does suit a lot of people. Me personally, I went out and bought one. I bought the Rex Virgin, which is the range extender. I did that because I wanted that extra mileage when I didn't want to stop and charge, and when I wanted to get that bit further, thinking, oh, if a charger's broke or I can't get near one, I've got 2 gallon 80 mile or 90 mile in the summer, purely on the old dyno fuel. No great thing, I'm no big lover of using it, but it's there as backup. And I know a lot of people who are looking at EVs would think that might be a way out. And trust me, if you've got any range anxiety problems at all about EVs, or you want to go that bit further and your budget don't allow, definitely look at the Rex, because it's a series hybrid. It's not a hybrid, let's get that right, it's a series hybrid. What it is, basically, it will only use electricity. If you buy the 94 amp hour 33 kilowatt one, which is in the budget of 15 on a high mileage low spec vehicle, that will do 125 mile, nearly 130 in the summer if you drive it well, and then you've got the backup of about 80 to 90 mile out your Rex, so you've got well over 200 mile range when the two are put together in the summer. Winter, about 150 mile range, because you are going to lose 20 to 25%. So as regards the entry level i3, I've seen them as cheap as like 11.5, 12k now. That's not the Rex, that's just the basic BEV 64 amp battery pack, which will do in the region of around 75 mile on a charge, 80 if you're lucky in the summer, but you've got no Rex backup. If you want to spend that bit more money and get loaded up, the top end spec just under that 15k, you could get it loaded with all the nice BMW toys, decent mileage, and you can get a Rex. Personally, I think you'll find you're probably better off spending a couple of grand more, up to about 17 to 18k, and going for the very last, the 66 plate, the one I've similar got, the very last, just before you started paying road tax on them. Because I think then you'll get a loaded version, you'll pay no road tax, and you'll still have the nice 125 mile on pure electric on the battery. So that's the basics of the i3. Very funky, suicide doors, as my pictures tell you there. Massive option list, and like I say, the more you want to spend, the bigger the option list will be, because the i3 sells itself on options. So the difference between a basic, say 64 amp battery pack car, one of the earlier ones from say 2014, to a loaded version of that same car, could be a difference of £2,000. No doubt about that, because BMW, as you well know, bless them, they do actually cost a lot of money on options listing. They come basic as hell, and by the time you put every option on, you've loaded £10,000 on the car. Very easy to do. So be wary of that, but I personally would go for as loaded as you can. 10-inch big screen, because that's nice. That comes with a few more bits instead of the smaller 6.5-inch screen. Glass sunroofs. It's one glass panel, but when you're in the vehicle, it looks like two single glass roofs because of the big pillar in the middle. I love it. It's a great option to have. Self-parking option as well is there, where you don't even have to touch the brakes if you want to. Unlike some of the cars, you have to brake. The BMW will do it all for you. And of course, autonomous driving below 35 mile an hour on motorways. Not used it yet, it's on mine, but in heavy traffic, it has to be below 35 mile an hour, and you can just sit there and let it do its thing. It will keep you in lane, it will brake for you. Nowhere near as good as the Tesla system, but hey, things are progressing. So that's where we are on the cars under 15k. If you need any information, message me, text me, like this channel, do what you've got to do for me, and there'll be lots more to come. I've done all these inside so far, and I apologise for it. The weather's crap. We've got the COVID on. Bless me and bless you. Keep safe, and buy what suits you. Don't let me influence you too much. Buy what suits you. Think about the range and think what you're going to use it for. You can even email me down. I think the email address is down there somewhere. Please subscribe to the channel. Come click the thumbs up, and I hope to see you again.